Is it a limo? Is it a sports car? No, it's the new BMW M5.
BMW M5 is the sporty 5 Series. First launched in mid-1980s, the E28 M5 was based on 535i, but under the bonnet it had a modified M1 engine. Yes, the infamous BMW-Lamborghini joint venture. Back in the day, BMW M5 was the fastest sedan on the market. Fast forward 30 years and we've got the 600 horsepower 6th gen M5. V8 in this one propels it from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.4 seconds. Currently, Audi doesn't offer RS6 sedan, and Avant is slightly slower. Porsche Panamera Turbo is also slower, and it's really a liftback. This leaves us with Mercedes E AMG 63S with Firmatic. No, current Jaguars, Infinitis, Maseratis, or anything remotely premium doesn't come even close. I'm not counting Tesla because it's not really a sedan either.
How come BMW and Mercedes are so fast? Because, like Audi, they use four-wheel drive to put the power down. So they're not just fast on the motorway, but also off the line. However, unlike Audi, which has permanent quattro all-wheel drive, BMW and Mercedes decided to let their owners of their fast sedans disengage front-wheel drive temporarily. As a result, they can do something like this. 600 horsepower going through the rear wheels and twin turbo under the bonnet make the M5 supremely easy to drift. I can't recall the last time I've driven something which would be so playful in the right sense of the word. M3 is too nervous, M5 is much more elegant in the way that it lets you misbehave despite its weight.
BMW M3 with liquids and driver weighs around 1600 kilograms. M5 comes at over 1900. That's heavier than the less powerful versions of the 7 Series. But from the driver's seat, I wouldn't say it weighs anything more than 1400. It's that good. Under normal circumstances, in order to disable front-wheel drive, you need to turn the traction control off and then go into X-Drive settings. However, M cars have programmable M buttons. So I set M2 to all comfort, which doesn't mean slow, and M1 is full attack rear-wheel drive. I just have to press it twice to confirm I want to disable traction control. Surprisingly easy.
Okay, with the supermarket parking lot boy racer stuff out of the way, let's talk about something that the drivers with acne don't care about, and that's everyday usability. It's brilliant!
What I love about the M5 is how discreet it is. For what M Division could have done with it, M5 is almost a sleeper. It doesn't growl from afar that here comes a fast car. Sure, cold start is loud, but driving it at almost any speed doesn't make you tired. You just hear a distant but pleasant purr.
Speaking of driving at any speed, if not for other people on the road, it's hard to tell if you're going 100 or maybe 200 kilometers per hour. It doesn't matter what road. On twisty roads, all-wheel drive BMW M5, with all-wheel drive engaged of course, seems to have never-ending grip. Just remember, grip will probably end much later than your talent, so there won't be much to scrape off a tree.
Steering is electrically assisted with variable ratio. Implementation is good. I had no problems regardless of whether I was parking, driving in a city, on the motorway, on B roads, or whether I was behaving irresponsibly. Gearbox is an 8-speed Steptronic with drive logic and fluid cooling. Speaking of which, even at moderate pace, many parts in this car tend to heat up. We'll get back to that later. In comfort mode, suspension copes with 90% of road surfaces. In order to stop this fast and heavy monster, carbon ceramic brakes are an option worth choosing. Oh yes, they are. Acceleration, as well as braking, can cause physical pain. Last time I felt something like that was in a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. Combined fuel economy, if you care, is about 15 liters per 100 kilometers, which also happens to be around 15 mpg. The best I got extra urban was 12 liters per 100 kilometers or 19 mpg, way off 8 liters or 29 mpg BMW claims, but this is still very good for a 4.4 liter V8. Noise? Just the engine purring away, which you want in a car like this, but no other suspicious or irritating noises. Visibility is good, everything works like in any other BMW. Inside, there are a few telltale signs this is an M5. For example, sports seats have M5 emblems, which light up. By the way, headrest is at a strange angle, so I had to raise it to its highest position. I love that you could adjust side bolsters. Even in the bucket seat position, they will open when you turn off the ignition, giving you easy access, and then they will return to the tight position when the car is on again.
Another difference are the M buttons on the steering wheel. Hold one for a few seconds and it will store current xDrive, gearbox, suspension, steering and drivetrain settings. And you can adjust those settings within iDrive. So for example, this is the xDrive configuration here, with buttons next to the gear lever and on the gear lever itself.
The gear lever differs from ordinary 5 Series as well as from M3 and previous M5. This one has a regular park mode button. Gearbox settings are now on top of the lever.
I don't want this review to sound like all praise for BMW, so I did find two issues. So, first of all, this is an optional induction charger and the cover for it is somewhat flimsy. I don't like that. And another thing, this car has cooled seats, which is nice, but cooling is quite ineffective. Mazda 6 has better seat cooling.
The rear is pretty much the same like an ordinary 5 Series. Sorry for the skid marks on the leather, it's not what you think. Someone moderately intelligent was transporting tires without any covers. Even detailers can't clean this off. And individual upholstery in this car costs around €7,000. The boot is the same like in the ordinary 5 Series, but here I'd like to go back to the elements heating up. After turning the car off, fan in the front keeps working for a long time and it's very warm inside the boot, warmer than the weather would justify. So do your grocery shopping at the end of the day. The F90, not G30, BMW M5 prices start at €118,000. Besides 7 grand worth of damaged upholstery, this car has, among others, sport exhaust for $1,500, carbon engine cover for $1,200, 20-inch rims for 2 grand, carbon ceramic brakes for 9 grand, and a few other extras which bump up the price of this test car to around €160,000.
It's hard to justify across the screen you're watching me on, but from the driver's seat, and I don't say this lightly, this is the best car I've driven this year.
And how do you like the new BMW M5? Maybe you own one of the previous generations. How is it to live with? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you know you could have watched this review earlier? Visit my Patreon site to find out more. Links below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.